Hello, my name is Rene Lippert and I welcome you to the presentation which I've prepared for this year's DevOps Enterprise Summit. It is about our first inverse Conways maneuver and why it was not enough. My talk will split into 4 sections. First is about the Lido business domain within Lufthansa systems and what the Lido flight product is about. Second, where did we origin from and why did we take the journey? Third, our trip into the agility describes the new structure and where we are. And in the fourth part, I will end with where are our pain points today. So I will start now with the Lido domain. We offer products for commercial airlines of all kinds to ease their operations. In Europe, we are market leader and we have customers all around the world. We also offer data services, which means that we do digitalize information which is only available in paper. Yes, that still happens nowadays. And we have around 850 employees to offer the software product and the data services. Just to give you a feeling, the product we have has more than 2,700 configuration parameters to configure and tailor our software to the customer's needs, because they are quite special with all the law they have to fulfill and all the different policies they have to fulfill. Of course, that makes our testing a nightmare because every individual installation looks like a software in itself. Here you see a short look on our customers. In the previous slide, you saw that there are 120 airlines around the world, our customers. At least that was the figures before the crisis, before the corona pandemic. As we are a 100% owned Lufthansa subsidiary, we understand and we feel what it means at the moment to be an airline. Nevertheless, we are looking optimistic into the future, and we call the new normal being our new chance. And we know that our software will be needed again when the flights are coming back and the airlines are back into the sky. Here we see a map covering the different business scenarios where our products are in use. It starts at the bottom where we plan the trajectory of the flight, providing the flight crew with the required information about their flight event, support to use airport maps for taxiing on the airport itself, take-off parameter calculation and in-flight details. Our product allows aircraft ground communication, so even providing updates during the flight, and ground staff can monitor the flight event on ground while it's in the air. And finally, we support during the approach and landing and taxi back to ramp. The last step is then the collection of the data for post-flight analysis. In today's talk, I will focus about one of these products used in this cycle. It's called the Lido flight software. Oversimplified, we can say it's the tom-tom for the flight crew, knowing not only the optimal way the pilot has to go from A to B, but also a lot more, like what's the weather on the road, what's the wind, for example, and all the other information relevant for the flight. So now to the second part, which explains the way the organization looked before our agile transformation, and also some insights about the architectural characteristics during this time. We had many specialized persons on the development side as well as on the business side. Persons with dispatch know-how exactly knows what the customer are doing, as well as persons with deep know-how in IT and writing code. You can see them here as green shirts. The resource management, so-called RPMs, planned our green shirts, first in a tool called Planta and later in MS Project. You see them here on the next slide in light blue shirts. The team leader was responsible for business and disciplinary decisions, so we made the most skilled person from business side to become a team leader, as this was the career path for the people. You can see them with the black cylinder. And the release manager was in charge to coordinate and track everything that was done according to the release process and being responsible to deliver the release in scope and in time, seen here with the gray cylinder. So here you see the schema, how the development organization looked. You can see the lead of flight product is developed mainly at 2 locations, Gdansk and Frankfurt. As I said, the team lead was responsible for the decisions on what has to be done and what can be delivered with which release. With the capacity planning for this, the RPMs managed the work for the people long in advance, and we even shared the people between different teams, and that was planned there as well. In short, we had a very classical traditional waterfall product way of development. 2 version releases a year, 7 service releases a year, and if needed, special patches. It worked, but we fought with all the problems such a traditional way of working has. Now, let's look on the software side. We had a wide set of languages in use. There was C, C++, Embedded C, Shell scripts, Perl, Python, Fortran, Lex, YAC, SQL, TCL/TK, and lots more. Altogether, we had 3.6 million of raw lines of code. Stripped down, it was more than 2.7 millions. Our components had more than 100 dependencies. It was overall 26. And you can see a picture of it on the left-hand side.